The next is our ordinance for our 2012 budget. The first read has not changed since November the 1st public hearing. However, we are still gathering and finalizing our budget, and hopefully by next week we'll have a more firm budget. But I'm asking for our first read to be approved today.
Mr. Chairman, I will need her to read the heading into the record, please.
Please.
An ordinance to make and provide appropriations for the period beginning January 1, 2012 and ending December 31st, 2012. To make and provide such appropriations for the operations of the Rockdale County government, its departments, boards, and other agencies and funds, including all elected county officers and their employees, to provide for the control and administration of all funds of such agencies from all sources, to provide an effective date to repeal conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and for other purposes. This is the first read.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the first reading of this ordinance as presented.
I second that motion. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to encourage us as we make those final changes before the second reading. Currently, I think we're at about $3.1 million that we would have to take for fund balance, which would be a historical move because we have not done that in the past, used fund balance. So I hope we will consider and go back and refine our budget even further and make those changes that we need to. And also remember, this proposed budget as it is right now does not include any increases for employees, which is contrary to what the paper reported. So I just want to make sure that's clear to all the citizens and county employees.
Any other discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think very valid points that Commissioner Van Ness points out. My concern is, what recommendations do you have? We still have some time. As she stated, this is the first read, and as they're trying to kind of tighten down on this as we move to the next reading, do you have, Commissioner, any specific details, suggestions, or recommendations? I mean, we've all been looking at it. I just want to make sure if we can approve this budget unanimously, if that can happen, that'd be good, a good message we're sending to the community that we've all put our eyes on it and we paid attention to it, and any type of suggestions or recommendations that we've gotten with the finance department, and we've communicated that amongst the three of us. My question is, do you have any suggestions or recommendations?
I do, and I've been working with Ms. Miller on several of those, and they're not reflected in the budget as it's proposed today. But we also, as you're aware, have been talking about privatizing part of our HR department and downsizing that to be still maintaining one or two HR employees, but it would be downsizing so that we could have the same level of service and possibly even better than we have now. And while I think our HR department does a fine job, it's just really more of a cost savings initiative that would be proposed, and that final proposal should be available very soon. Well,
I am familiar with that discussion concerning the HR department. Are there any other areas specifically outside of that one that will impact the approval of this budget?
There are, and I've been talking to Ms. Miller about those as well. She'll be able to share.
Ms. Miller, if you would just make certain that myself and the chairman are clearly aware. Again, I don't know whether we will have a unanimous vote when we come to the second read or not. My goal is that if there are any other areas that we collectively need to take a look at as a board to get a more fine-tuned budget, I'm interested in that. As we also mentioned a couple of weeks ago, and I reiterated again last week, that several of our citizens who have come forward to the podium, I've encouraged them to come and meet with the three of us on any ideas, suggestions, or recommendations that they may have. And as of date, none have come forward and made any request of myself to meet. I would gladly entertain any ideas or suggestions. I've not heard from anybody. I'm not sure whether my colleagues have or not. You have not, Commissioner Van Ness, Chairman Oldham. What about yourself?
I have not heard.
You have not either. So Well, let the record reflect that neither one of us, although folks have come to the podium, we've not had anybody to sit down and have any detailed discussions about their ideas and suggestions concerning the budget. Ms. Miller, I look forward to hearing from you perhaps after this meeting about some of the ideas and recommendations that Commissioner Van Ness has pertaining to the budget.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.